So today in the studio we are finishing this Hasui boat print with the last block, which is a black, and I printed the light in the distance last night, which was just a really easy little quick impression, so we weren't missing much there. And for this block I print this bottom section with full intensity black, and then these from the shoreline up, this section here, I use a separate little brush, and I just use a little light gradation because I don't want that to be so black because it's in the distance. So as you can see, there's a little bit of gradation coming from the shoreline up into these trees. It's kind of just a nice little subtle gradation. Again, this is my interpretation of the design. If you look at some of these original prints online, the colors will be a little bit different. You'll get a lot of texture in the sky and the water, printed a little bit more fast. And this, I just kind of take my time and I make a nice clean print. I really enjoy the way this print has come out, and I think it's a really attractive little postcard design. So I'm just going to keep on printing and I'll talk along the way. So to start, I just 2 dabs of paste. So I'm just brushing in this bottom section, the boat and the waves and the reeds, and then I'll just touch the shoreline with a little bit of that black pigment. And then I switch to this brush and I just kind of do a little gradation here. It's picking up a little bit of that pigment, just kind of carrying it up a little bit lightly. And always make sure my edges are clean. So here we go. Now we just go again, 2 drops of paste, 1 heavy black dab. So this is the brush with the full pigment. This is the one that has a little bit of gradation in it. Just circle that in. So this black layer really pulls it together and makes everything pop. I'm really putting a lot of pressure in this boat area because I want that black to really be pressed into the fibers. And then over here there's some rocks and some leaves and stuff on the edges and the corners, and that's where I'm doing a little bit lighter pressure because I don't want to rip the paper. So you can see there's a real subtle gradation in those trees, which makes it seem more distant. If I were to print just super intense black, it would really kind of look a little strange for me. I really love these little prints. And you can see there's a little bit of color variation from this one, but that's okay. The same idea. Let me keep going. So after this is done, I will emboss my name in the margin of the print. And it says printer and carver Steve Wonecki. And that's to identify who made this print, and to not confuse this print with the original Hasui prints that are out there in circulation already. So it's easier for collectors and art historians in the future or whatever to identify where these prints come from. So this is obviously a posthumous print, or a print that's after the death of Kawase Hasui. I'm not trying to sell this off and recreate this as an original. I'm trying to make it unique and just be a reproduction. So I will put my name. So very clearly stating that this was made by me. It's a reproduction, it's posthumous, it's not as valuable. And it won't confuse anybody in the future for trying to sell it off as an original. Also, there's normally a stamp, a Hasui's original stamp from the publisher on the print. It's red, and I chose to not include that in the print. And I think we sell these for $40. But you can see here how long it takes to print this. But also, you don't see how long it took to trace the design, transfer the design to the blocks, carve the blocks. Also, you have to include the cost of these blocks, the cost of this paper, which is quite expensive these days. Then you have to package it. I package it in, I mount it on a piece of acid-free mat board with photo corners in this plastic protective sleeve. All of those are, you know, quite expensive when you add it up. And then I have to ship it. And shipping is free on my website. So for a $40 value, I think you're getting a really interesting handmade object. There's a lot of love and care that go into making these. See, this is a little speckle. I might just put it back on and put a little more pressure on this one. See, when I'm talking, I'm not concentrating. Yeah, that's nice. Also with this print, you're getting a whole video series on YouTube that shows the step-by-step process of printing this. So when you receive yours in the mail and you show your family or your friends, you can show them a video and see how it's made. And it's a way to educate people on how these prints are made, the history of these prints, and it helps grow this art form, which is my goal, sharing these videos with you. Hopefully it interests you to the point where you'd like to give this a try in your own time. In which case, I'd be there to help you. And as always, you can leave comments and questions down below, and I will personally answer every single one of them. I always inspect every print after I lift it off the impression. I always go around and make sure everything's looking good. There's no paste buildup or pigment buildup. Everything's registered. You always give it a quick glance, because if you made a little mistake, you don't want to recreate the same mistake in the next one, and then you realize, oh no, I made 10 mistakes and I ruined 10 prints. It's a lot of work to lose. So you always have to pay attention after you take an impression. You kind of monitor the process as you go, and you make subtle changes as you go. If it's too dark, a little less pigment. Too light, a little more pigment. And that's actually the fun part for me in printing. So making these videos, it's hard to record these videos and print at the same time, but I'm getting more comfortable with it, and it's a learning process. So I hope you're enjoying these videos, and they do take a long time to edit and to put up on YouTube. So please subscribe, leave your comments below,